So as a result of all this, since your revenues are down dramatically and down so much so that you could not, no airline could, nobody could survive, the federal government, as part of the CARES Act, said that we will provide you some money. And you've now gotten $5 billion from the federal government in two forms. Is that right? They've given you a grant and a loan. Is that correct?
Right.
And you have another $5 billion you could borrow, and maybe your process of borrowing as well. So if that's $10 billion that United Airlines would get, and you're going to give some warrants to the U.S. government, you've already given some, but is that enough? Is $10 billion enough for United or your competitors? Is that enough money to keep these airlines alive?
No, that's the great question of the day, David. We don't know what we don't know, and therefore, right from the start, when we saw this happening, we immediately went into markets to boost our liquidity. Again, I said we had a pretty strong financial sheet, a balance sheet, preparing for something like 9/11. This is probably 3 times as worse. So we went in the markets for as much loan debt that we can get. We've issued stock. We have taken the grants and the loan from the government. We have applied for the second loan, and we'll make that decision shortly about that. And then we're also finding other ways, in essence, to a degree, improve your liquidity to the best possible point, and then work on your cost structure to bring the cash burn down to a manageable degree. And then it's just time oriented.
Now, cash burn today is roughly $40 million a day. In other words, you are spending $40 million a day, in effect losing $40 million a day. Is that more or less right?
It's more or less right. We'll keep working on that, but it's roughly the same number that we've reported publicly.
So your peers in the airline, your competitors, let's say American or Delta, are they in the same situation, I assume, largely?
Yeah, roughly. All of us spent a lot of time together, obviously at arm's length, but working through the CARES Act conversations and interacting with our legislative leaders. And we are forever grateful for the assistance that they've given us. We're one of the few industries that was carved out for this level of assistance because they do understand the economic impact, the impact we have on the economy and the wheel that we are to juice that. But we've all worked together, and I think by and large, we all have different situations and positions, but generally, I think in the same vein.